So welcome back to our lecture series on circuits and networks. So in today's class, we are discussing about application of Laplace transform in circuits. In last class, we were discussing about the various standard results of Laplace transformation. So various theorems and various standard results are well explained in last videos. So now today we are discussing how we can apply this knowledge in circuit problems. So all of us know in last some videos we were discussing how a switching problem means there exists a switch and at an instant of t is equal to 0 the switch is closing. So in switching problem, generally for RL circuit, RC circuit, we are applying KVL and we will get what we will get. If you are applying KVL, generally we will get a second order or first order ordinary differential equation. If it is RL or RC, what equation we will get? It will definitely a first order differential equation because only one memory element. In RL circuit, L is a memory element, resistor is a memoryless element. In case of RC also, it is having one memory element. So for both RL and RC, your differential equation formed from the circuit will be of order 1. But for an RLC circuit, it is having two memory elements. So the differential equation will be of the form of 2. So in previous classes, we were solving all the differential equation using conventional method. But from today onwards, we are finding the solution of differential equation by using Laplace transform. That is the main difference we are following from today. So before that, let us discuss this thing. Laplace transform of u of t. What do you mean by u of t? U of t is nothing but 1. Unity or unit step. Such signal is represented as u of t. Its magnitude will be always 1 in time domain. So simply saying, what is Laplace transform of 1? Yes, in previous class we discussed the results. Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s. Everybody knows this. Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s. Now, let me do one thing. You please forget this u of t. U of t is actually 1. Multiplication with 1 is that value itself. So, just you forget this u of t. What is Laplace transform of e raised to at? 1 by s minus a. What is Laplace transform of e raised to minus at? 1 by s plus a. So, let me fill it. Laplace transform of e raised to at is 1 by s plus a. Everybody knows this standard result. But I want to implement this result using shifting theorem. That is, now you forgot this thing. What is Laplace transform of u of t? In the above result, we know it is 1 by s. Laplace transform of u of t or Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s. Everybody know that. Now, on that same thing, we are doing a multiplication with e raised to at. On the same thing, we are doing a multiplication with e raised to at. So, what is the change in its s term? If you are multiplying time domain with e raised to at, in s domain, you have to apply a minus a. Wherever you are seeing s, you have to substitute with s minus a. That's why, on the other hand, by applying shifting theorem, if Laplace transform of u of t is 1 by s, Laplace transform of e raised to at u of t is 1 by, sorry, I'm sorry. Actually, it is not 1 by s plus a, it is s minus a, I'm really sorry. 1 by s minus a. So, if you are applying a multiplication with e raised to at in time domain, on the corresponding frequency domain, you have to put s minus a instead of s. Wherever you are seeing s, please substitute it with s minus a. Then also the result is okay. By applying shifting theorem for u of t. U of t it is 1 by s. So e raised to at u of t it is 1 by s minus a. What you have to do? You replaced this s with an s minus a. On the reverse sense, if you are having Laplace s domain answer 1 by s minus a, and you know that Laplace inverse of 1 by s is, you know that Laplace inverse of 1 by s is 1 or u of t. Laplace inverse of 1 by s is 1 or u of t. You already knows that. Then you can say, if you want to find inverse of 1 by s minus a, please multiply with e raised to at in time domain. Both are reversible. You can say it from time domain to frequency domain and from frequency domain to time domain. This shifting is also very important. Okay, this is just a brush up topic for the last class. Actually, these things are not that much important for today's class. I was just trying to make you memorize these last topics. Now, let me do one more thing. What is Laplace of a differential equation? It is di by dt, first differential of I. Let it be I may be current. L of di by dt is nothing but s into I of s minus I0. S into I of s minus I0. This is an important thing. In the last class also we discussed this result. That is, if you are generally you are going to convert differential equation from time domain to frequency domain. So this is the main equation that you need to memorize. Okay. Okay. Now let me discuss about an RL circuit. Okay. This is an RL circuit. Actually, what I want to do is, in lecture number 12 or 13, we were in somewhat lecture number 15, I hope so. In lecture number 15, we were discussing about the switching condition of an RL circuit, and we derived this condition, the same thing by using conventional method of solving differential equation. But in today's lecture, we were repeating the same thing using our new method. That is nothing but Laplace transform method, and we will cross check both answers. Okay. Actually, it is better to put a switch here, then it will be more clear. At t is equal to 0, a switch is closed. So this indicates a switching RL circuit. And the source, it may be a DC source, AC source, whatever it may be. I am just putting V of t. Okay, anyhow, from plus, we know that from plus the current may be coming outside. It is marked as it is in time domain, it is marked as I of t. And this current is entering to this terminal of resistor. So this is plus, and leaving from this terminal, this is minus. Here also entering at this terminal plus, leaving this terminal minus. So voltage is V of t, current is I of t, and R resistor, a resistor is there and an inductor is there. So it is a RL circuit. So a voltage will be developed across resistor and inductor because current is passing through the component. It will develop a voltage. So let me write the KVL. This is the KVL. Let me write the KVL. Let us check. Suppose you are assuming such a direction for applying KVL. We know initially we are seeing the plus of resistor. So this voltage is nothing but voltage of resistor. What is the voltage of resistor? Plus R into I. Voltage of resistor means resistance into current. Okay, again this, here also as per this direction, we are seeing positive terminal first. So here also positive. Ri plus voltage of an inductor. What is it? Voltage of an inductor, L di by dt, Ri plus L di by dt. Again, we are coming in this direction. Here we can see, initially we are seeing negative terminal of this voltage source. Initially we are seeing negative terminal of this voltage source. So we will put minus here. Minus V of t is equal to 0. Okay. Now, I want to convert this equation into frequency domain or into S domain by applying Laplace theorem. So, let me write here R into I of S, because this is I of t. Actually, current is I of t. We can also write it as I of t, no issue, I of t itself. So, we are in S domain, it is written as R into I of S plus L into we have to apply this rule, S into capital I of S minus small I of 0. You should be very careful that for the I of S term only you have to use capital I or capital V, whatever it may be. If it is voltage, you have to use capital V only for the S domain term. For the zero term is initial condition term, you have to use small letter. Whether it is current or voltage, whatever, you have to use small letter. Okay. Plus, sorry, not plus. Okay, we can write this is equal to, on the right, this is V by S. Why it is V by S? Initially, it was a voltage source. Here we can see it is V of t, a voltage that depends on time. V is a function of time. And here we are having a current that is also a function of time. And by applying Laplace transform, I or I of t is converted into this form, S I of S minus I of 0. Wherever we are seeing I, we are converting to I of S because we want to find that particular value of current. That's why we are taking it as, from time domain it is I of t, to frequency domain it is known as I of S. But V is not like that. V is a voltage that we are giving. It is a constant value. Suppose it is 1 volt. Suppose it is 1 volt. What is the Laplace transform of that 1V? If it is 1, it is 1 by S. If it is 2 volt, it is 2 by S. For any constant, Laplace transform is K by S. So, this voltage is considered as a constant voltage source and its value is taken as V by S in Laplace domain. So, on the right hand side it is marked as plus V of t or V, and by taking Laplace transform it is rewritten as V by S. I hope it is clear. So, now we are making the similar things into a common bracket. So, I of S into R plus Ls minus L into I of 0 is equal to V by S. It is not negative, it is an arrow mark. It is equal to V by S. Suppose this is the initial condition. I don't know what is the initial condition anyhow. For this case, I am assuming initial conditions is equal to 0. No issues. If initial condition is not 0, then also we can proceed this method. But for obtaining some linear relationship and for some simplicity, for the time being, we are assuming initial condition is equal to 0. Initial current is equal to 0. So, I0 may become 0 in next step. This is also V by S. Okay. Okay, so L into I0, this one is equal to 0. So, we can rewrite I of S is equal to V by S, S into SL plus R. This is the current equation in frequency domain. Now we want to convert that into time domain. Now we want to convert the same thing into time domain. Okay. So how we can convert from frequency domain to time domain? For that, we have to apply inverse Laplace transform. And for in that aspect, the one of the important thing is you should have the basic idea of partial fraction. So what is partial fraction? How we can apply partial fraction? If you are having any doubt, you can just refer the previous video, and in that video we discussed all the three types of possible cases of partial fraction. Anyhow, for this analysis, let me write V by S into SL plus R is equal to, by applying partial fraction technique, it is A by S plus B by SL plus R. Everybody knows this method, how we can split into these two fractions. Okay. Now, for finding A, we need to multiply the total term, this total term, with the denominator of A and put S is equal to 0. So that is nothing but I of S into A and put S is equal to 0. So that is nothing but simply writing V by S into SL plus R into S. Sorry, not into A, this is into denominator S. Okay. So this S and this S will get cancelled. So this will become V by S L plus R at S is equal to 0. From where you are getting S is equal to 0 condition, because you check the denominator. In the denominator nothing is there else other than this S. So we can put S is equal to 0. So this is nothing but A is equal to V by R. First answer. Now what about B? B is equal to the same thing, I of S into denominator of B, SL plus R. Okay, and you have to put S is equal to, because you have to take SL plus R is equal to 0. SL plus R is equal to 0. So SL is equal to minus R and S is equal to minus R by L. These steps should be there in your note. I am reducing some steps due to the space limitation, but it should be there in your notes. S is equal to minus R by L. Okay, please do this. If you are multiplying I of S, this is I of S with SL plus R and SL plus R will get cancelled. This will become V by S at S is equal to minus R by L. Then what will be the answer? It will be minus V into L by R. Minus V into L by R. Now put this A and B in the original equation. So I of S is equal to A. What is A? What is A? Minus R by L. Minus R by L by S plus, next one, B. Sorry, it is not minus R by L. Sorry. Actually, it is A is, what is A? Here it is V by R, not minus R by L. I am sorry. Okay. This is equal to V by R by S plus minus VL by R by V by SL plus R. Now partial fraction is over. We got the fractioned expression in S domain. Now it is very easy to convert it into time domain. How we can convert this into time domain? We have to take L inverse of I of S. Laplace inverse of I of S. So I of t is equal to okay, please tell. V by R is a constant. V by R into 1 by S. What is the inverse transform of 1 by S? It is 1 or unity, U of t or 1, whatever. So we can keep it like that, yeah, that is into 1 plus, okay, minus V L by R into okay. So before that, you have to do some basic rearrangement in that. Then it will become somewhat easier. Okay. 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 Take an L outside from this one. Take an L outside from this one. Okay. We can do this step after some time. Before that, we have to rearrange this equation. So if you are rearranging, this will become I of s is equal to V by R into 1 by S minus taking L outside. L outside means S plus R by L, okay, and the L taken outside will get cancels with the L in the numerator. So it is V by R again. Now we can easily convert it into time domain. I of t is equal to V by R into 1 by S, it is 1 itself, minus V by R into 1 by S plus A, e raised to minus at. So e raised to minus R by L t. Now very easy, you can take V by R outside. You can take this V by R outside. How you can take the V by R outside? Okay, let me write here because this is the important conclusion. It is some time consuming to rub these things from this board. That is the one issue with this glass board. Okay, anyhow, so U of t is nothing but V by R into 1 minus e raised to minus R by L into t. You please check our previous experience with the differential equation method. Previously, we were developing a differential equation. We find its integrating factor. We did some manipulations in mathematics, and then finally we will get the same thing. But in case of first order system, you may feel both the things are almost easy. In the lecture number 14 or 15, you can check for RL circuit with switching, we obtain the same equation for I of t. But as it is a first order equation, you may feel both these methods are almost same. But in case of a second order differential equation for an RLC circuit, in RLC two memory elements are there, L and C. So the differential equation, conventional method of solving and conventional method of finding the solution will be a time taking process or will be a tedious process. That's why for such case you should do Laplace transform and Laplace inverse transform in order to do the solution. And we may be delivering some standard models for RL and RC circuits in the upcoming areas. Then it will become more easier for you. Anyhow, this lecture aims you to explain how we are getting same results from RL circuit analysis if you are doing by using conventional differential equation solution method or by adopting the new Laplace transform method. Anyhow, I hope now you may have a clear idea why we discussed Laplace transform and Laplace inverse transform in the last class very detailed. Because these are the two things, Laplace and Laplace inverse transform and partial fraction plays a very vital role in solving the problems in module 3. It's very important, and that's why if you're having any doubts in those area, please watch that lectures again and read some good textbooks regarding the mathematics textbooks regarding the Laplace transform and inverse Laplace transform, and you should practice some problems also. Anyhow, from this we are closing this lecture, and in next class we are developing RL and RC, RLC standard circuit models by using Laplace transform. So hope you all enjoyed this video, and from today onwards we are trying this method also, which will make the class more live. So thank you. We'll see you in the next class.